Nigeria's presidential election has come and gone, and unexpectedly, a winner and losers have emerged. We'd also shed light on the lessons learned in the presidential elections. We have Afar, revolutionary Afar, in the studio with us on SaharaTv. Revolutionary Afar, once again, welcome to SaharaTv.
Thank you, sir.
What are the major lessons from your perspective that should have been learned from the last presidential elections in Nigeria?
Thank you very much, sir. Normally, I think that we learned a lot of lessons in respect of the presidential election that we have done in March 2019.
February
Because
23rd.
February 23rd, 2019, sorry. Normally, there's a lot of discrepancies, most especially in the side of the ministry that's supposed to be a reputable and recognized ministry, which is so-called Independent Electoral Commission, National Electoral Commission, INEC. By the virtue of Section 153, subsection 1F of the Nigerian Constitution as amended, INEC is a recognized body. But notwithstanding, those people that they are piloting the affairs of the INEC, they are not constitutionally well organized. Because I think they have fixed a date for a long time for Nigerians, that this is also a day that you will do this election. Everybody have prepared. Many people have traveled from far away to his own village in order to perform their own civic duty. The same thing happened to me. I'm a citizen of Nigeria by the virtue of Section 25, indigenous of Osun State, in Electorate local government headquarters, Awo. My voters card beared Osun State, which I have to vote in my ward, which is Ward 1. I travel from Lagos State to Osun. Unfortunately, and all of a sudden, they declare and cancel the election and fix another date. Who gave that authority to the Mahmoud Yakub, the INEC chairman? Is it Mahmoud Yakub beyond the constitution of the country? But I know one thing. There's no anything that can happen without the knowledge of presidency. I was so flabbergasted and demoralized when I see the chairman of APC, so-called Comrade Adeniyi Alimi Sulaimon, because I discovered that the man had been transgressed. I think that due to the pain note that I've seen in APC, because when someone to call himself comrade, you have to continue to call a spade all the time. He behave and make an behave as if that he didn't know the thing that is happened or transpire within the presidency and Mahmoud Yakub. Mahmoud Yakub is a servant of Nigeria. Is it possible for someone that is serving Nigeria to tell the Nigerians the things that is not part of it without any sanction?
Some of the arguments that INEC laid was that they had logistic problems, and that was what led to the postponement of the election. Are you insinuating that it goes beyond just the logistic problems for INEC?
In fact, for that statement alone, they have to sanction the chairman of the INEC. It is a narcotic statement and embarrassment to the nation. You have portrayed Nigerians as if that we are wretched, which is absolutely not. You have fixed a date almost 7-9 months ago and presented the paper and the timetable for everybody, which we have seen. Which kind of logistic that you don't even have till a day of election, before you cancel election in the middle night of the election? Is it that one sensible from the mouth of the professor? For someone to be a professor is not an easy task. The man is a pathological liar, made a blatant lie in order to cover up his own atrocity. There's a lot of concatenous, competitive nakuna, which they have to sanction him for it. But at the end of the day, Adeniyi Alimi blame him briefly in one program. There's no any other thing. They believe that they think that it is possible for them in order to manipulate the situation, which is not possible. People are watching them. It was happened in Osun State gubernatorial election, I think that's September 22. I was in Osun State. See the way that INEC officials that in the position to pronounce the announcement of the election. People might have hate PDP or tag them with different name that they have done bad things to Nigeria for complete 16 years. But different people, different character, and idea and ideology. I think that the candidate from the PDP won the APC candidate Oyetola with vote of 351 or 52. After illegally removing 1,000 votes at Ayedade local government, Gbangan area, without the knowledge of electorate, without the knowledge of the contestants, at the end of the day, they affected those PDP members arrested someone that is steering their resort. There's another information from another local government in Osogbo that they have had 2,000 votes with APC. After all, the PDP still won. The pronouncement from the INEC officials that were there, which people are expecting them to call a spade, they said that the election is inconclusive. Which I believe, if it is another party that is won someone with 5 votes, they will announce this the winner. We're starting our investigation. What happened and transpired for the statement of these people. They switched off their situation for complete almost 42 minutes. I think that the consulting people, the APS person that in the pronouncement forum, they started to calling, received the calling. Who the man is calling? Who is calling him? We don't even know up to today. Meanwhile, they have to arrest the man by the fact of Section 214 and Section 34 of the Nigerian Constitution as amended. The police officer have right to arrest anybody, to do the proper investigation to authenticate the veracity of empirical report in the situation of that on ground, which they discover that the situation is in the policy. They refuse to collect the answer of the man. Who are you calling during the time of the people's expectation? They have to search in the catalog and download the information from the MTN to know the person that the man is calling and publicize it to everybody in order to make a transparency and accountability to the people that they are voting for their candidate. At the end of the day, they fix another date. Meanwhile, they said that there's a electoral guideline that if the void election is more than the one that they are used to win. Meanwhile, the electoral guideline that you are talking of is unsigned. There's no one that signed that one. You fix another date within 6 or 7 days. The opposition party, which is PDP people, they plan to vote. They don't allow them. The incumbent governor, then our past governor, American Pesola, deploy a lot of people, a lot of talk to that place, including MC Oluomo from Osodi. They disrupt everywhere in Osun State too. Can you see the situation of the things? Can we rely on that kind of INEC? I have changed their name with my side and my follower side. They are not an INEC in our side. They are inconclusive National Electoral Commission, which is INEC in brackets.
That's a serious one. Much has actually been talked about INEC's role as far as this last elections, the presidential elections, the National Assembly elections was concerned. In fact, we had reports that some national commissioners of INEC themselves, including resident electoral commissioners and coalition officers, are planning in order to resign their appointments because of the threats they've received. Some were held hostage. Some had to declare results under duress. I mean, what would you want INEC to do at this point in time, ahead of the gubernatorial and State House of Assembly, to ensure that they actually conduct a free, fair, and credible elections at the state level? What would you expect of INEC at this point in time?
Thank you, sir. I still continue. I always said it. Time without number. I will still continue to pray for our late mentor, the legal luminary, and the prophet of law, either they like it or not. Chief late Ganifa Emi of blessed memory. He said it, time without number, before he left this world. And his own legacy still remains. Any moment, don't ever expect a free, fair, and credible election in Nigeria for now. Because in any moment that you are putting the square peg into the round hole, or the round peg into the square hole, don't ever expecting the successful outcome. Firstly, I said that INEC is no more independent. That is not the way they're supposed to appoint INEC chairman. I will come to that if time permits us. Secondly, in the moment that you have seen the X or suffering military in the power and the corridor of democracy, don't ever expect any free and fair with credible election. See the way they have perpetrated a lot of evils, even in the side of Vice President Professor Yomi Osibajo, Professor of Law. He said that he want to distribute trader money, 10,000 naira. When they discovered that they want to have an election in Osun State, they came to Osun State, started to distribute 10,000 naira. After that, when we finished the election, Osun State gubernatorial election, we couldn't find Osibajo again in our state. He moved to another state in order to win an election in that place. Now he pronounced it. I heard this from somewhere that if all the people that they collected the sum of 10,000 naira refuse to refund the money, EFCC is searching for them. The EFCC that does not searching for those looters, they are now cross-carpeting to the APC, most especially like Komisore in Osun State, Musili Obanikoro and others. What of Ganduje? That have been properly and absolutely captured through the social media and others and media and electronics. The Buhari incumbent president still have temerity to raise the hand of Ganduje in public. Then for the wreck, those wreck that you have seen, I have understand and learned that kind of the atrocity when Justice for Comrade Adeniyi was the Lagos State Rec chairman. I was the mobilization and planning director, Lagos State of National Congress Party then, while Afolabi Gbajumo, aka Sebiki, was the chairman of the National Congress Party. We had a lot of opportunity in order to, we have a lot of experience on rec issue. We were on the election ground at Agboyiketu, which those ACN then started for make trouble with us in the place. There's no any vehicle that will reach that Agboyiketu. All of every area, I think that is a riverine area or something like that. If not because sweet intervention of the then Commissioner of Police Akoyibo and one Mr. Tunde, so I something, sir. I think Tunde something, which is DPO of Ketu. They had one call marine police officers to come and attend to us in the place. Before we left the place, Abdulfatah Adeyinka started to pronounce AC member as the winner of election. Meanwhile, we are on the voting line. Many of those records that you have seen, there's another evidence now at Ondo State. Ambassador Rufus Akeju. The man is the most corrupt human being among Nigerians. I wrote a petition to the EFCC. Many people wrote a petition to the EFCC against Akeju. He was the chairman of Osun State. When we started our legal agitation against him, they transfer him to another place. They give him compulsory leave little bit of the time. They still transfer him back to Oyo State. Before the Oyo people started to castigated him, they still transfer him back to the somewhere. Before they reappointed him, we wrote a petition to the House of Senate, to the presidency, to the EFCC, because the EFCC collected based on the petition that people wrote. They collected out of the money that the man embezzled. Is it possible? Is it normal to see appointed that kind of corrupt fellow as the rec chairman of the one state? Which kind of result of House of Assembly or governorship election report or result that you are expecting from the man in question? The corrupt human being that is now an apex person of the state, the one that will pronounce the announcement, the statement of the result of election. Normally, by the virtue of Section 1999 Constitution and Section 176 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, that is the law that is recognized as of Assembly and the governorship election. But in the moment that you are putting the someone that is not recognized or the one that is not respected by law into the corridor of power, what do we expect from that?
All right. Let's also look at some of the candidates, the presidential candidate that didn't really do well as far as this elections was concerned. The people like Omoyele Sowore, Kingsley Moghalu, and the others, who will have been looked at as a third force. And Omoyele Sowore really fought hard and toured around the country, just like Chief Gani Fahimi did way back when he also contested for the presidency. But what does that tell you about the perception of Nigeria towards a credible alternative from the status quo, especially from the mainstream political party that has subjected them to the penury and poverty that they are in? Why do they not vote massively to remove such ones and ensure that people like Gani Fahimi or Sowore get into power?
Thank you very much. We appreciate Comrade Omoyele Sowore the way that we appreciated Gani Fahimi too and other colleagues in struggle for betterment of Nigeria. For someone to have guts and strong heart and mind to come out within those cabals that want to contest for the presidency in the new party that does not have structure like other parties that have been on ground before his own party. He tried a lot. But we still need more enlightenment for our people because they have subjected them into the abject poverty, which many of them are expecting peanuts to survive. Like 2,000, 3,000 naira and half bag of rice. Or to give them one bag of rice in order to let 10 out of them share it within themselves. That is what caused the problem. It is because they don't understand much of what is going on in this country. But as time goes on, the third force will come into the first force. Because I learned one thing in our Holy Quran, because I like to use Quran and Bible and Nigeria law for anything that I'm doing, which we call Surah to Wakia. All those affairs, group of affairs always call it Surah to Isawaka. Anytime that they want to collect money from someone, they will call it Isawaka, Isawowo, the one that the facility that they can use to collect money from the people. But the one that I want to use, which is Quran 56, verse 10, says, Sabikuna, Sabikuna. Meanwhile, the someone that is leading for that moment, he will continue to lead till the time of his the expiration of this tenure. That is what is happening now. Those people that is in front, they know the way that they can canvass those masses. Either through the money. See what I said the first president have done. Because of 10,000 naira, he canvassed a lot of people. It might have been Nigeria money. But notwithstanding, the people ran behind him in order to collect their own. Because of that reason, they got the vote of the masses. Meanwhile, if you have enlightened them more, that by the virtue of I think that 4th schedule, 50th schedule of the Nigerian Constitution, the function of local government, this is your entitlement. You are entitled more than this. In the hand of these people that they are giving you 10,000 naira, vote for the right people that can let you have opportunity and access to your dividends of democracy. Is it possible for Osibajo to come out now and still continue to distribute that 10,000 naira? When we continue to enlighten our people, they will know what we are talking of. That is what we can continue to do. Then I'm still pleading to our peoples in our community of struggle, those comrades. Many of them does not know what they can do. When you discover that someone from your community have that mind, we have to give in the support to the person. I have many evidence here, which I've seen a senior comrade still have got to printed a paper for Pa Muhammadu Buhari. Muhammadu Buhari that is made a lot of lies for his own first tenure. How can we say that one?
Let's also look at some of the big losers in the last elections. We have the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, losing his Senate seat in Kwara because of the campaign, the Otoge, so to call campaign, that saw him ousted and losing the 3 senatorial seats even in that state. And we also saw Akpabio also losing his seat too in Akwa Ibom, the Senate minority leader. So what do all these things tell us? I mean, what is the lesson to be learned from those who actually lost their seats, especially?
Thank you, sir. To my own point of view, it's a reward of what Saraki did to Jonathan. Many of them betrayed Jonathan's government. Once that you build your own house, which is their political party, PDP, you left your own house, still looking for another landlord or caretaker to give you a room. When you are leaving the duplex, you are looking for 3-bedroom flat. Is it possible for the landlord of that 3-bedroom flat to give you an opportunity to use to everywhere? That is what they did, all of them, including Dino Melaye. You know the Dino Melaye just have that opportunity slightly.
But Dino, retained his seat.
He retained his seat by fire by force. You know, the Saraki people in Kwara State, not all of them, they have and understand the thing that is transpired within the Saraki and those leaders of the APC. Many of them are still sat down in the APC. They refuse to follow Saraki to PDP back. That is number one mistake. The second one, is this Saraki conversant to their own downtrodden people there? Those electronics that we vote for them. The third one, Saraki always follow Atiku Abubakar from one state to another. Does not have time to campaign for himself in his own state. That is third crisis that Saraki has. The fourth one, the biggest one, they posted the former chief security officer of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think that Egbe Tokun, Egbe Yemi or something like that. He was a chief security of Tinubu when Tinubu was a governor of Osun State. The incumbent commissioner for house, Bola Lawal, was the ADC. He's now a commissioner for housing in Lagos State, formerly commissioner for Agric. They posted that one to Kwara State. Is it possible for someone that is working for leader of the one party have to run? Saraki is not the part of that party again. Sorry, is it possible for that commissioner of police to allow the Saraki's people to live in the free breathing? Meanwhile, by the virtue of section 215, subsection 4 of Nigerian Constitution as amended, the commissioner of the governor of the state, the deputy governor have capacity to control the commissioner of the police in that state. The presidency and vice presidency have capacity to control the IG. Meanwhile, the commissioner of police is under the IG. It is not possible for Egbe Tokun or Egbe Yemi to work in support of Saraki. Many of them have the sympathy for their own leader. That is part of the problem that Nigeria has. For a law enforcement agency to have a sympathy for one party. They posted the Egbe Yemi to Lagos State. The Lagos State people refuse to agree with him. They expose him as a former CSO to Tinubu. Kwara State want to do that one. The IG refused to transfer it to anywhere. It's the part of the obvious atrocity, which is not good in democracy. The IG is supposed to pose the neutral person into those states.
Finally, elite endorsement, which is one another lesson that we also want to spotlight. Politicians put a lot of score on so-called political endorsements, as we were seeing in the last elections. We have the Afenifere in the Yoruba land endorsing Atiku, failing to mobilize votes for Buhari in the region, despite their so-called endorsements. We also have the Ohanese, who are also rebuffed by their people, and the Northern Elders Forum that were also rebuffed. Despite their so-called endorsements, what lesson should be learned from them? Does it not show that their influence as opinion molders within regional opinion molders, is watering down? People are no longer listening to these groups.
Thank you very much. Many of them that they are endorsing, because by the word of biblical quotation in John chapter 8 verse 32, says, "You shall know the truth shall set you free." Are they truly those people support Atiku Abubakar? When you see many of them, they are sit on the fence. They are looking for what they want to put into their pocket. It is not possible if all of them that they said that they decided that they want to follow Atiku absolutely with their mind they are with Atiku. It is not possible for any other presidential candidate to penetrate that place. But it's because many of them are looking for something. That is why the one word of the Holy Quran, because people are always calling jihad in Islam. Jihad have a different meaning. If you don't want to tag Muslim, you don't need to tell anybody that it's because they call jihad is the word of the killing. No. There's one that we call jihad nafsi, for someone to clear his mind, in order to not be a money monger, gold digger, or someone that is looking for his own quick daily bread, according to the Matthew chapter 6 verse 11. Give us our daily bread. Many of them are looking for money from the people they are declared for. They are not working for him. Because if truly they are working for him, it is not possible for any other person to penetrate. When you see them here in the afternoon, you will see them in the midnight in another place. That is what is happening, which is not good for our democracy. If you are belong to A, why can't you stand with A? But it's because the way the government are presented our voting, it is not normal. We have to apply the one that this wicked military leader did, which is option A4. That one can be better. Make sure to line up in the front of the poster of the candidate that you're giving the support to. If you collected money from the candidate of party A, it is not possible for you in the public to vote or to line up in the poster of the party B. They will know that you are a betrayer, you are a saboteur. I think that one can still expose them a little bit. Not for INEC to tell you that we will use car reader. When you want to vote, don't put your answer there. Which kind of car reader? The car reader that does not legalize. That car reader that they are talking of is not working around together in every state. The only thing that car reader can do is to detect either the PVC, is he through PVC or not. If I'm the owner of that PVC and I give this to you, sir, due respect, sir, when you take it into the car reader will accept it. But it won't accept your fingerprint. But notwithstanding, the INEC will consider you. That is main atrocity. If you want to do the necessary thing, let's continue to do the option A4 voting. That one will have better.
Thank you very much, Afar Revolution, for this insightful analysis. We really appreciate it. And thank you for coming on SaharaTv.
God bless you, sir.